the sense that there have been naturally like things that have been shocking, things that have been terrifying, ups, downs, and like everything in between.
Right.
Right. Within that time, like my parents separated. I went from like being an A-star student to being near the bottom of my class.
Right.
Then went to being an average student for like a sustained period. Then went back to being an A-star student. Then continued that to like uni. Did a bunch of like internships because I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do like post like school.
Right.
So I literally worked everywhere. Like by the time I graduated from like undergrad, I'd done entertainment, education, finance, pharmaceuticals, and tech. Right. But then it's like I just didn't know where I wanted to be. So then I think when people look at like all the things I've done, it's like, oh, you've done so many things. That's so impressive.
Yeah.
But then for me, it's like, oh, I did so many things because I was so fucking confused. I didn't know like what the hell I wanted.
Right.
And even now, like to some extent, like I think I'm still figuring it out.
Okay.
Which is why I get so confused when people ask me to like mentor them. Like now,
Really?
I'm like, I need mentorship myself. Like, I need that guidance you're looking for. Believe me, I need it more than you.
Right.
But
for sure. Yeah, but I mean, don't you think that to some degree, based on like the things you've done, there is a way that you can mentor some people just based off of that?
Oh yeah. Oh no, this is not me saying that I don't mentor people. Like I do, but it's just when people ask me like Arinze, can you be my mentor?
Right.
It's the same way. Like I find it just as strange as if someone would come and ask me, oh hey, like Arinze, can I be your friend? I don't know how to respond to that because it's not a button I can switch on like oh yes,
and
then we're friends. But like there's a switch and then okay cool like we're mentors and like mentees. So I think like the mentor-mentee relationships that I have are the ones that just happened like
naturally.
Same, like they just happened.
It's not like something where you're like
there was never a conversation.
You went to ask or something.
Exactly.
Just and I've also found that it's a lot of them rooted on like our friendship. Right.
Exactly.
This is someone that you can get along with them. They can advise you, but you can also easily just like go out with them, have a drink, and it's like have more casual interactions with them.
Exactly.
Rather than it just being this mentor to mentee relationship.
Because then if it's just that like if all we talk about is like your career and like where you're trying to get to and like my career and where I'm trying to get to, then it at some point just feels like work. It feels like I'm having a meeting like at work. So whether with like a superior or like a subordinate, it just feels very transactional and like that's not.
It's not.
That's beneficial. That's not my aesthetic.
I feel that. I could totally get that completely. Cool. So we talked a bit about like your past. I talked a little about present in a sense. Now let's talk a little about future, right? Where's Arinze heading to? Where do you see yourself?
Where do I see myself?
Going to. You can time box it if you want to time box it, or you can just give me like a general.
I mean, this is first of all a very anxiety-inducing question. Just after I disclosed that I don't know what the hell I want to do, but anyway, I think my interests are tilted towards like technology and media. So I know that like whatever I do in the future would be one or both of these things. Because like I know that I care about technology, not the tech itself, but I think the power of like tech, like all the things that you can do with tech, like the impact you can scale through technology. And then I think for media, it's like it's one of the quickest and like not easiest, but quickest way to change the world, because then you get to change like perspectives and like mindsets like at scale, like through content, right? And especially today, where a lot of the content that is coming out is like tilted towards like comedy, and comedy is one of the biggest genres for subversion, right? Because you take everything as a laugh, but then they're actually making a very serious point.
That's very true,
right? So with with TikTok, for example, like I think the generation that's going to come after this current TikTok generation are going to be a very interesting set of people, because then like they're now exposed to all these things that I am Gen Z, but like I wasn't exposed to these things.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
well, I guess I'm like the older brackets of Gen Z. I'm like those people who are like almost like on the cusp.
The late laggers.
You know, exactly. So even as I grew up like with all these things, like I didn't have that, right? So like I think it would just be interesting to see. But yeah, so like so essentially like what I would do would be technology or media or both. So that's why like business school is like important for me, because like that's like the space that like I know that I'm going to like properly crystallize like what exactly is it that I want to do. Because my plan for business school is to use that time to create like a business plan for like what I want to, or like the business that I want to create.
Right.
Post school, I might not like create it immediately after I graduate, but like it's something that I want to begin like while in business school.
Yeah, and I think like the place where you're going to is actually very beneficial for that.
Yeah,
like it's a tech hub.
Exactly why I picked it.
Yeah, it's like I guess you guys don't know, like Arinze is heading to Stanford's.
Business school. Yeah, I didn't mention.
Yeah. Yes. So definitely where you're going to is like it's very good for in terms of like your mission and what you're trying to work towards building. It's very, very influential for that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Cool.
Thankfully, this like the stars have like aligned.
Yeah.
On that small bit.
Yeah. Awesome. That's amazing, man. Amazing. It really is. All right. So now let's like have a bit more personal conversation.
Bring it on.
So my first question to you is, you know, how do you navigate life as a queer man?
Oh my God, this feels like a more liberal version of like the why are you gay?
Are you serious? Is that what it feels like to you? Oh my man, change my I'm really not trying to create that.
I think it has so me navigating life as a queer man has changed with time. Right? There was the time of like me navigating life as a queer man who didn't accept that he was a queer man. There's a time of me navigating life as a queer man who accepted that he was a queer man but wasn't ready to let other people know.
Right.
Then there's now where I'm at of like, you know, navigating life as a queer man who doesn't give three fucks, like who knows that he's queer. And I think the experiences that I had at each stage were very formative. Not all pleasant, but I think there were things that I needed to go through. Some very dark. We wouldn't get into that. Some very dark, but like I think all in all, like it's, you know, it has been amazing. I think the best part for me is like the coming out part, because I know for like most queer people that's the
biggest challenge.
Exactly. Like that's the one that makes a lot of people just anxious.
Right.
And naturally, like I was anxious as well, but I think I got to the point where I just like was like, this is my life.
Yeah. You already got one.
Exactly. Like everybody else, like they've lived theirs, and like I just refuse to just, you know, be on my deathbed at like 60 or hell 30 and be like,
what if?
Damn, like exactly.
What if?
What if? So it's like